Starting.
It says live. We're going.
Already.
We are live.
Oh snap!
Where do
Yes,
we see
we
the
are.
chat?
We are live.
Do
We're
we see
6
the chat?
seconds in.
I don't know.
I see the chat.
You
I
can
think
either
we've done this enough times that we would know by now.
see the chat on YouTube on our channel, or you can either see the chat in StreamYard itself, like to
We
the
live,
side,
dog.
to the right
Okay.
side of the screen.
Yeah, that's fine.
The one on the StreamYard is just delayed by like 2 seconds maybe.
It's cool. It's cool. I got a notification from this channel.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. You can get it. Say it. Use your words.
Asia
Whoa.
Core.
The man forgot. Like, what channel is this?
Holy Monke, aka Perfect Husband. That's what popped up. So, hi everybody. This is King Mean.
Ahoy, everybody. Monke checking in.
Eisen here. How's it going?
Cypher here. Fizzin
Fizzin.
all the way to the other
Somewhere.
side.
All the way.
Yeah.
If you guys wondering why he never introduced himself, it's because he lost his voice. So, just so you guys know.
Yeah.
Man,
Dodd
no
got
voice.
tired of his bull crap, so he took his vocals away.
Oh man, start strong. Start strong.
Oh, no, man.
Start strong.
The power of God.
or if you want to look at it
That's-
the other way, the other
that's-
guy got ticked off at him speaking too much truth. So he.
That's true. That's true.
It's perspective.
Just
All about perspective.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess.
Yes.
All right. So what's the topic today, King Mean?
It's all you, man. You're the main MC today. So the topic today is we're gonna talk about well, let me be the guy who does the thing.
Ask the questions.
Does that?
Yeah, the guy who asked the question. So you vaguely on the last podcast said you've been through something and like it puts you into perspective of where you are now and you're grateful that certain things happened to you. So not everybody know the whole story of what happened to you. So can
So
you
you want to
just
go like way back, like to the very
yeah,
beginning?
just explain to,
In the beginning.
in the beginning. Yeah.
Baby Monke.
Oh man.
Well, actually, technically, I was. I mean, I was barely not a baby. I remember when I
So
when
you were
I
the same age
converted.
as King Man.
Huh?
So you were the same age as King Man when you were born.
Right. Exactly.
Pretty much, yes. Pretty much.
But no, I was 3 years old, and my dad asked me if I wanted to be a Christian, and I said yes. And I got down on my knees in front of our radio and our crappy, ugly brown carpet, and I got down on my knees with my dad, and we prayed, and
Mhm.
you know,
Was there a
after that-
reason? Was there a reason why you're interested in it? In the
I mean,
religion?
I was 3. I don't think I fully understood what I was committing to. You know, I mean, I was 3. I could barely talk, but I think I even knew at that young age that I was drawn to it, even though I didn't know what it was or I didn't know the full scope of it.
Mhm.
But yeah, I grew up in a, well, it's kind of got a checkered past. There was a while where we were doing this home, like we didn't go to an actual church. We went to this guy's house, and he was the leader, he was the preacher, and you know, we were there for a while, and then we ended up leaving because he started proclaiming that he was the second coming of Jesus.
Yeah,
So-
that's going to the cult territory.
Yeah, exactly. It was definitely going into the cult territory, and it was definitely a time to say bye, because
Adios.
it's going to be pretty obvious when Jesus comes back, and it wasn't that guy.
It wasn't that guy. It wasn't that guy.
You're,
Surprise!
You're like,
Surprise,
stop that.
it wasn't that
You're
guy.
not the guy. You're not that guy.
You're not that guy.
Next time, baby.
Stop time,
I
baby.
don't think there was going to be a next time for that guy.
No, it feels bad, man.
Well, yeah, when you start, I mean, and it's not just, I mean, there's a lot of other people that have, you know, mental conditions where they think that they're somebody else and stuff. So
Mhm.
it's not an uncommon thing, but that was definitely a time to skate out when that started happening.
Mm.
So then we kind of bounced around. We went to a lot of Baptist churches, and I would say I identified as a Baptist growing up. We moved down here when I was 12, and we found another Baptist church to go to. And for those of you that don't know, so Christianity is like this big umbrella, and there's lots of sects, S-E-C-T-S. So we're clear on what I'm saying.
Okay.
Within the church,
Yeah.
there's Baptist, there's Presbyterian, there's Lutheran, there's just all these different types, and they each
like
believe
layers.
They all kind
Layers.
of. I mean, they basically all believe the same thing, but they believe slightly different versions. Then there's other ones that claim to be Christians, and like Jehovah's Witnesses and Mormons and stuff like that, but they're more fringe because they don't believe the same basic tenets that standard Christianity does. And then there's the progressive Christians, which have come out, which we don't even we'll talk about them later because that's further down the road. They're a more new thing. But the basic tenets of Christianity are believing that the Bible from front to back, Old Testament, New Testament, is the unerring word of God, and that Jesus was born of a virgin. Cool, man. That's cool.
Sorry,
that's rude.
You need to
respect
answer
right there,
that.
man.
You need to get that,
Hold
bro.
on, I gotta put on
You
to.
need to take that.
Hold on, I gotta
This
put to
guy.
do not disturb. I forgot to put that.
A little late.
Shit, Matt, I know. Rude.
But anyways, yes. So believe the Bible is unerring from the beginning to end, and that Jesus was born of a virgin, died on the cross for everybody's sins, whether you believe in him or not. He died for your sins, and that he was resurrected, and he's going to come back. Those are kind of the basic things. So what can be a little bit frustrating about being a Christian sometimes is a lot of Christians are some of the most messed up people you're going to meet because
I watch a lot of horror movies. I see that.
Exactly.
Man.
Hey, movies sometimes based on reality.
Man.
But most people that come to Jesus, that come to Christianity, have a broken past, have a lot of messed up situations, so they need Jesus in their life to make them
Guidance.
whole again, to make them complete. Guidance, exactly. There's a lot of people that just not as much anymore because it is not trendy to be a Christian anymore. It was there for a while. Everybody claimed to be a Christian, but it is not a thing you want to claim if you want to be a popular kid. And I realize that we're on our channel, and I'm saying this, and I might get hate for it, but so
it's reality. It's true.
Yeah.
People will hate on anything.
Yeah, and
people hate me for being bald, so don't feel bad, man.
Right. Well, people are going to find reasons to hate somebody for everything, right?
Yep.
And unfortunately, there are a lot of Christians out there that are very guilty of it. There's a big thing. A lot of people are like, well, how can you be a Christian and hate gay people? And the Bible teaches that being gay is wrong. There's a lot of people that say it doesn't, but it does. It's in there. And you don't hate the sinner. You don't hate the human. You disagree with their lifestyle or what they do, but at the end of the day, you still are supposed to love the person.
Yep.
And a lot of Christians don't get that. A lot of Christians are militant right now, especially with the political climate in our country. A lot of them, that's not. We're supposed to be spreading love, encouragement, speaking out against things that are wrong. But it's even hard to do that without being the way the world is right now. You say one thing that somebody doesn't like and you're canceled. You could lose your job if your company doesn't agree with what you're saying. It's like if you're not part of what mainstream wants you to be, you're not allowed to say your thoughts without coming under ridicule and getting hate and all that. And it's unfortunate. But I mean, to be totally honest, Christians have a lot of that blame to take on themselves for how we've acted. And it's very unfortunate. And, part of my story. So I became a Christian when I was 3. and I pretty much very early on in my life knew that it was real. At a very young age, probably when I was about 6 or 7, I could see auras around people, and I just got feelings about people. Like I could never have met them before in my life, but I would get the heebie-jeebies, right? Like just like that. Ooh, that's not a good person. Call it psychic if you want, whatever you want to call it. Sixth
ESP,
sense,
ESP.
and it was always right. The only time it's ever failed me was with my ex-wife, but that's a different story. So
we don't go there. We don't go there.
We don't go.
That's the wrong path.
Yeah, that was the wrong path.
The Browns shit, the aura that you see around me, that's just smog. Don't worry about it. That's just smog.
It's just him needing the shower. That's all it is.
There's nothing you can do about
that. A little
that.
smelly, but it is what it is.
Monke, Fizzon's ass.
Well, I will get to that because
Okay.
I will get to that question. It's not a super chat question, but I'll get to it. Early on, I started seeing things like that, and then when I was about, I think it was 11 or 12 years old. Yeah, we were living where I live now. So I was about 12. I got a really bad fever, and I just had this really bad feeling. Like I didn't know what, or I couldn't put my finger on it. I felt when I was laying in my bed, I felt like I was on a roller coaster. It was just weird, right? Oh, it was just a really bad flu. No, I know why it happened because a little bit later into this sickness, I looked in the hallway and I saw this being standing there in the hallway looking at me. And when I say being, you know how, and you guys, if you've paid attention to some of our other videos, you'll know I've talked about this before, but this is part of my story, so that's why we're talking about it. If you take a pencil on a piece of paper and you kind of go on the side of the pencil, not with the tip, and you get that fuzzy outline, right? It was that in a bright orange color, and the eyes were like crackling green with like energy.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And he came down the hallway and looked right at me, and I just got this super dread feeling, right? And it walked into my room and stood at the end of my bed and stared at me. That's the
worst. I hate it when you do that.
I was like, this is a demon. Straight up, this is a demon. And I started hollering for my mom and my dad. And my dad, he sleeps like I do, so he never even woke up through all this. But my mom came in and she said she couldn't see it, but she immediately felt a presence. And we started praying and saying, we started, in Jesus' name, get out of here. And it was like every time we would say Jesus' name, it was like it was getting hit with a dart. It started hissing, it recoiled, and eventually, after taking one last look and hissing at me, it took off. And that was when I was 11. So I was pretty solid in my faith at that point. I was like, this absolutely is real. The spiritual realm. I know not everybody can see it. I don't understand why. I don't know why God apparently decided to give me this gift.
It's kind of like a selective thing, which is weird to explain.
Yeah, and it's weird seeing.
We all have our own,
right?
like all of us, anyways. In this,
have had our own
little experience with. I'm not sure if Eisen has it, but I know Mean has. I know
he has
me,
no soul, so he probably hasn't.
Oh, they snatched my soul. I'm gone.
So that and then I pretty much stayed the course from like 11 until 17. I always went to church, always went to Sunday school. I was a leader in my church. The whole thing. And then something just kind of changed, and I don't really know what, but I started doubting my faith. I started feeling like it wasn't real because in the people that were around me that claimed to be Christians, I kind of looked at their lives and I kind of saw what was going on in their lives, and it really made me doubt it because I was like, well, this is like one of the most Christian people I know, but it's obvious that it's bullcrap. They don't live the life. They're in church, they go to youth group, but they're not living the life. And if they're not doing it, then maybe this isn't a real thing, And
it's like they're not 100% committed to it, right?
Right. It was like just a thing. It was like a social thing they did on Sundays and Wednesday nights for youth group. And that was like it.
It's like two times like meeting up on the bar or something like
yeah,
that.
Exactly.
I know exactly what you're talking
place
about.
to meet up,
Mm-hmm.
Group activity.
No, I get that.
And that kind of permeated a lot of the people that I looked up to, and I just kind of fell away from it. I was like, this isn't real. This isn't, I hadn't had an experience like I had when I was 11 for a really long time. I still played the part. When I was 19, I got married for the first time, and we moved to Missouri, and I was a leader. I was a youth group. Sorry, let me start over. I was the youth pastor at that church. I was a worship pastor, very visible, big positions at a church and everything. And I was still just kind of teetering on if this was a real thing or not. I had decided that it was, and I was just going to figure it out for myself. I wasn't going to let other people tell me what my faith should be. I was going to read my Bible. I was going to pray. I was going to figure it out for myself. Because I think a lot of what happened before this moment in my life, I had just kind of taken everybody's word for granted and not really experienced it myself. And I remember that my next big experience was I was up on the stage leading worship one day, and I looked out at the crowd, looked out at the congregation, and I saw 4 different people that had these things behind them. They were like dark, cloudy, kind of what I saw when I was a kid, except without the outline, but just like a shadowy figure standing behind these people. And their faces were just contorted, like in rage and hate. And it creeped me out. I stopped singing. Thankfully, I was only backup that day, so it wasn't like I completely stopped worship or whatever. But I just was like, whoa, what is going on? And I told my pastor, my lead pastor, and I was like, you need to watch out for these people. They're going to cause you trouble today. Sure enough, the 4 of them ganged up on him after church and just start not physically attacking him, but just were telling him what a garbage preacher he was because he wasn't doing things his way. We were trying to bring new life into that church because it was full of old people that were dying, right? That's what old people do, and when your church is just full of old people, what happens to that church when they die? The church dies.
Yep.
So we were focusing on getting younger people in. We updated the music. God forbid we actually had a keyboard and drums and a guitar. It was that kind of church where with that kind of music, they were just like, if we weren't singing the old songs that were written in the 1800s out of the hymnal, they didn't want to have anything to do with it. So
just breaking tradition.
Basically. Right.
Yeah.
But if you're not growing, you're dying, right? And that church was dying, and we were trying to bring it back, and we were making a lot of good progress. We had, when I started out in the youth ministry there, it was only the kids that were like the family members of the people in the church. But once we got established and got going, we started getting kids from just the community coming in. We were getting a lot more people into church because it was a huge church, but there were just not a lot of people in it because, like I said, they weren't there for the right reasons. Not all of them. Some of them were truly godly people. But anyway, so I saw those things. I told the preacher about it. He told or they did end up attacking him that night. And from that point on, I could see the auras again, and I saw those things, which they were demons. 100% sure they were demons. And what proved it to me is, so every Sunday from then on, or just in life, because I also worked as like the office manager at that church, whenever people would come by, or on Sunday mornings, if I'm looking out into the congregation, I would see those again. And they were different people. They weren't always the same ones. And I would, warn the preacher, watch out, so-and-so and so-and-so are coming after you. And it always came true. And he said even his wife corroborated my story. She couldn't see anything, but she got feelings about those people. And those feelings always they always backed up what I said. Mm-hmm. But then kind of the last time that any of that happened was it was Halloween, which is ironic, but we had our fall festival or whatever. And again, I saw these entities on these. This time it was only the elders of the church. And an elder doesn't in a church doesn't mean just an old person. Elders are kind of like, so you got your pastors, up here, and then the very next rank are the elders of the church. It has nothing to do with age. It's just people that the church deems worthy to be other leaders, like very Christian people that help, because the preacher can't do everything. We can't be everywhere at once, and the elders are kind of like our helpers, kind of a thing. And it was all the elders that had the demons on them that day. And I warned the preacher, and sure enough, but this time it was different. This time they wanted me and him, which they had never asked me to be part of these meetings before. So we got together after everybody left, and the preacher and I were sitting down, and the lights, they didn't turn the lights off, but I saw them get dim. They went down. And then all four of them kind of gathered around us, and they their faces contorted, the things behind them. First of all, what really creeped me out is they knew I could see them, and they did not like that. They're supposed to be undercover working behind the scenes, and then here I am, and I'm not even looking at the elders. I'm looking directly at them, and they looked right back at me, and they knew I could see them, and they were not happy about that. And then the elders just started ripping us apart, saying what a horrible job we were doing. We're destroying the church. And obviously we were doing the complete opposite of that, because numbers were up. We were seeing people come to Christ, which was awesome. And then they definitely infiltrated our church to try to shut it down. And eventually I ended up the first. So anyways, to sum up that little bit of it, that was the last time I saw it. And as soon as the meeting was over, the lights came back on, the four men and their demons left, and it was just me and the preacher. And we were just like, I was like, did you see them? Did you? And he said, I felt it, but I didn't see them. So I've been fortunate to actually be able to kind of see behind the curtain. But that was the last time it ever happened. And then things went really downhill with my with my marriage. We ended up getting divorced. I moved back home to where I'm at now with you guys. Well, not with you, you know what I mean, in the same area. Yeah. And I just kind of dropped at the fact that the people in the church, how earlier I was saying Christians are some of the most messed up people you want to meet. Well, that's a lesson I learned from that church, but it drained me. I put my heart and soul into that situation, and for it to end up that way, it really was a punch in my face nuts. You know what I mean? I was like, how could you let this happen? How could you let our ministry, which was going so well that you were blessing, how could you let it just get torn apart by these people and by these other creatures? And I kind of kept going to church when I came home for a little bit, but then just completely dropped off and just quit. And I think, I would still pray every once in a while, but I wasn't going to church. I definitely wasn't living a Christian life. I started drinking a lot, started partying a lot, just not kind of turning into one of those people that ticked me off when I was a kid, right?
So this is more present, right? Sorry, this is more of kind of recent.
15-ish years ago or so. So
for us, dog years, yeah.
Yeah. I'd met you by this point. I'd met you by this point. Yeah. So I just kind of was living my life, and I was like, yeah, I'm a Christian, but not really living like it. But whatever, I'm a Christian. I've accepted Jesus. I'm going to go to heaven. It's fine. And I wasn't living the life at all. And,
you're one of those guys.
I was one of those guys. I turned into one of those guys.
Yeah, you live long enough.
Yeah, long enough, you become the villain in your own story.
Yeah.
So God definitely had given me kind of hints along the way that I needed to pull my head out of my ass and get back into being a real Christian again. I had some stuff go on in my life. the divorce really also messed me up. It really sent me into a dark place.
Yeah. It's
there
tough,
was
man.
definitely, I was suicidal for a while. I was definitely depressed. I got really, I really, really got fat, and I'm still fighting that. But yeah, so it just spiraled out of control, and I definitely think there were signs that God was giving me that I needed to, like I said, pull my head out and get back on track, or things weren't going to go well for me, and I just didn't listen. I got into trouble with drinking. I got into trouble with women. I got into trouble with illegal substances. Not like jail time necessarily or anything like that, but just like, doing, I was going to strip clubs a lot, doing just like
fun times.
Just, yeah,
seeing counselors.
They were fun. Yeah, they were fun in the moment, but that's just not, that wasn't the life I wanted.
It's just that it was sending you in a darker path.
Yeah, and it was a distraction.
That's what it is.
Yeah, and I ended up. So back in January, I ended up in the hospital for 5 days. What, is that funny?
No, he was reading a comment.
I'm just reading the comment. People are laughing.
He's not laughing.
Ian's laughing.
Oh.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm not reading the comments, so I don't know.
No, continue.
But anyways, in January, I ended up being in the hospital for 5 days because I was in kidney failure stage, almost stage 4, which is when you need to go on dialysis. Stage 5 is when you need to have a transplant or you'll die. Oof. So my functionality was at like 29%. And if you're at 20%, that's when dialysis kicks in. 10 is when you need transplant. So, that you think would be a wake-up sign. But I still kept...
Sorry to stop you there. Does it hurt, like, at the stage that you were in, like, at the time?
No, I had no idea. My doctor called me at 9:00 at night and was like, "Hey, man, I got the results of some tests we ran, and I don't know what to tell you, but you're in stage 3 kidney failure." And so I went to a kidney specialist, and while I was there... go ahead.
I was just gonna say, it sounds like a silent killer if you didn't get the notice, from the doctor.
I feel like by the time you do notice, it's already too late.
Yeah. So the good news is, my numbers have very much stabilized, and they've gone back in the good direction. So I'm still technically in kidney failure, but my numbers are a lot higher now. Yeah. But I still, I kept drinking, I kept doing the stuff that I was doing. And I went to the kidney doctor, and he was like, yeah, is your blood pressure always high? And I was like, yeah, I think so. I don't know. Every doctor has said that. And he's like, your blood pressure is 250 over 150. That's like stroke, heart attack level. You need to go to the ER right now. So long story short, I ended up staying in the hospital for 5 days. When you get kind of close to death like that, kind of wakes you up. I definitely felt like I had been getting, like I said, signs that I had continued to ignore, that I needed to wake up. And finally God got through to me with this one. Excuse me. And I started praying once I got out of church. Once I got out of the hospital, I got back into church. I started reading my Bible again. While I was in the hospital, and even after I got home for a little bit, I was having these horrible hallucinations. Like I was trying to adjust to all the medicines that I was on, and it was just freaky. It felt like I was on drugs again or something. It was bad. Yeah. And the only thing that calmed me down is I just broke down and cried and prayed. And I was like, I don't know what else to do. I need you in my life, God. I need you to help me get right again. And almost immediately the hallucinations went away. And I've been back on track ever since. And, God definitely answers your prayers, and people want to say, well, God doesn't always answer. Well, people tend to forget that no is also an answer. The answers are no, yes, or wait, and 2 of those mean you don't get an immediate answer.
Yeah.
And just because you pray to win the Powerball doesn't mean you're going to win it.
Hey,
you know,
now you're cutting deep. Now you're cutting deep.
You're offending the guy.
But do you pray? Do you pray that you win?
No, it's more like, come on, God. You know, one of those
do this.
Give me the money.
Right.
And God's like, man.
I'm not saying God won't answer those, but it's
you got to be more. Yeah, you got to be more than that. Because I'm sure if he is listening to like a quadrillion, billion, gadillion, whatever people out there, right?
There's only 7 billion people.
Right, whatever the number
is. That's on Earth.
That's on Earth, right?
Not counting aliens.
Yeah,
which I fully believe are a thing.
So okay, so you've been through that, and now where are you at in terms of like your religion? Like, are you fully back now? Like to
Yeah, and Fizzin, to answer your question from earlier, like, what do I see your guys' aura? If you want to call that a gift or whatever, it hasn't come back, and I feel like I might have squandered it. Or maybe it was only God's plan for me to help out that pastor for the most part, and then, the gifts subside. But I don't see the auras or get the feelings or see the things anymore. Yeah. Now, that doesn't mean it won't happen again as I continue to grow and get closer again to Jesus and God in my walk. But as of now, I don't see things anymore. I do still get feelings every once in a while, but definitely not to the level that it was before.
I think it's like based on like certain stances.
Yeah,
so I noticed like all the issues that you've like noticed is
it's almost like situational awareness.
It's like God trying to tell you, is like, yeah, something bad is gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's like I'm letting you know ahead of time to prevent this from happening.
Right.
And
what? Go ahead.
Oh no! Excuse my ignorance. I've always wanted to ask like whoever, like the priest or whatever, like, so you said Jesus died for our sin, right?
Right.
So, since I was born after math, is he still dying for my sin or no? I don't understand how that works.
He has died for all sins ever going to be committed, past, future.
Oh, ever? Wow.
Yeah.
Remember, there's no time in.
Well, I get that, but I'm just a low class peasant, so I'm trying to understand because, like, does it say that? Does it say that in the Bible? Maybe I should pull my Bible, but does it say that?
It does, yeah.
That's
he came to save all of mankind. It's in there. Everybody. And everybody, even if you choose not to believe, even if you choose to turn your back, he still died for you. He still died for your sins.
Yeah, he's a cool guy.
That's one way of putting it.
Like, cool guy.
And one of the things that's pretty cool about Christianity is that it is the only religion that isn't based on doing good deeds or doing works, right? Like, you don't have to earn your faith or earn your belief. All you have to do is just believe and
have faith.
Have faith. Yeah. And faith is a very hard thing. There's a lot of people, well, how can you prove faith? And it's like, well, you can't breathe air, you can't see love, but those are real things.
You can't see gravity either.
Nope. Well, and Fizzin might tell you that gravity is not a real thing, but it is force, right?
We don't know. If you can't touch and feel it, how do you know? To those people who's non-believer, right?
Right.
The same concept.
And that's what faith is. But I choose to believe that it's a real thing, and I choose to believe that God is real, and that He did, and that He sent His Son to die for my sins, and that's all that there really is to it. It's not a hard thing. You just have to make the decision. And a lot of people are stubborn. A lot of people want to say, oh, well, what about, like, how could I believe in a God that lets bad things happen? Or how could I believe in a God that, God approved the Crusades and all that? And it's like, no, He didn't. What are you going to say?
They're not seeing the full picture. That's the thing. And they're too prideful of, like, themselves being right. And that's
that comes down to the whole ego thing. Like, I've been watching a lot of stuff lately. Lots of videos, like Ascension stuff, like religious stuff. Hell, I even watched the Church Channel. I was telling Fizzin, I was like, yo, dog, I'm watching Church Channel. Like, Monke should be proud of me. Like, to all of those people who don't know, I'm not, like, Christian or anything like that. But I do respect the religion and the teaching of it. Like I'm more of an open-minded person, so I try to understand everybody's philosophy and try to group it in my own. Like I take the good stuff from each places and try to make sense out of it and make sense out of the world, because the world is chaotic and sometimes you need that sense to bring you back to Earth, like
To the
if that
source.
make any sense? Yeah.
To the source.
No, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
and you know what people need to remember is I mentioned the Crusades, things like that. They were done in God's name,
Mhm.
but God didn't approve of those, and
Right.
they were done and orchestrated by men. And in my
Yeah,
opinion,
that's the
evil
thing.
men.
Just like those Christians that you were talking about earlier in your story, that didn't follow the teaching or the religion or the basic religion. Yeah, this is like that. They're just people. They're just men. They're just humans.
Right, exactly.
It has nothing.
And,
Like for example, if I'm a real bad person and a jackass, and I said I'm following this and that, but doing the opposite, that's not the fault of the religion. That's the fault
No,
of
it's
myself. That's my fault for being a jackass.
The thing is, like,
Well, that's the freedom of choice. Like God gives you the choice to believe or not. Because if so, when God created heaven, He created the angels and everything. He was like, these angels, they're cool, but like they're yes men, right? They only do they do everything that I tell them to do, and I want to create a being that has free will, that has choice, because that's a more true, pure love. When you choose Him, as opposed to just not having a choice.
right. The thing with human is, I find it weird and kind of fascinating is that, like, believe in God or not, it's always the same. Like, when they need somebody to blame, it's always gonna be God. So like they could be like the nicest person ever, but when shit rolls down in their life, like, oh man, God, you messed me up, man. Why'd you do this to me? But that's on you. Like, I believe where I come, like, with me, like Buddhism and the whole reincarnation stuff, like the whole
Karma system.
karma points. I love the karma point system. It's funny and fascinating.
Sure.
But yeah,
Karma point.
but like let's go with that route. Like me, like I like on the last episode. Sorry, I'm kind of dragging and going a different route here, but on the last episode where I talk about, like, oh, I'm single, I can't get anybody and all that. Like, I've been thinking, like, within that time and now, I've been thinking, it's like, it's really not that bad. Like, I chose this life. Maybe that's the experience I want to choose. So I shouldn't blame God. I shouldn't blame my fate. I shouldn't blame anybody. It's just an experience that my soul hasn't experienced yet. And maybe that's why I'm here, and that's why I look like this, because maybe it's a hard lesson, but it's a good lesson for your soul.
Whatever bad thing you think that's happening to yourself, if you can fix it by just changing your perspective and the way you're thinking.
And like it's really cool.
Yeah.
It's like,
and then you realize that all the bad stuff that you think was bad wasn't actually bad at all.
Mm-hmm. So like
it was just part of a process. It's not really bad. It's just a process.
Another thing, like, I wanted to go is, like, every bad things, right, that happens to you in the past, it leads you down this road. And, like, if all the bad past, and then that's the thing too with, like, people taking their own lives, which it sucks. It happens all the time. But tomorrow, you never know what's going to happen. All the bad stuff, it happens, right? You can't do anything to change it. But what you can do is go forward and see what happened. Like, I wouldn't be here right now talking to you guys and having a YouTube channel with thousands of people watching and subscribers, and it's insane. Like, if I were to stop back then with all the bad stuff that happened, depression or whatever, you wouldn't be where you're at. So it's a road that it builds. It's a character. Like, if it's a book, it's a character moment.
It's a character arc. There's always
exactly.
There's always some dark places.
There's
and
always a
then
dip in life, and there's
yeah.
always a peak in life.
Right.
It's the dark. It's the dark before the light, right? The storm before
Right.
the.
Yeah.
It's,
And
it's
that's-
always dark before the dawn.
And that's where I think religious is useful, and not useful, but like that's where it
There's-
helps,
Helpful
right?
Somewhat, yeah.
So like you're a Christian, right? So you have you,
Here's the thing:
You
what
have-
does it matter if someone else don't believe in it? What matters is that
It's
it's
you.
doing good for you.
exactly exactly.
So what does it matter if it's like other people that like totally don't believe in it? It's fine.
Yeah, no, I like this topic because a lot of people are so weird about about it. Like, I'm open to everything, and I want to hear like a perspective from you because I know you're like back into your religion now, and that's awesome for you. Like I said in the last episode, like I'm glad you're healthy now. Like that you have to go through that to find your way back. I guess your way
While-
back home.
While I'm not a Christian, I do have experience that I have a little experience in connection with God. I had that once before or twice, I think.
I'm sorry to do this, but I have to go pee real bad because otherwise I'm going to pee on this bed. You guys continue to talk about religion, and I'll
You just
pee and
went,
think
like,
about
what,
religion.
beginning before
Too
this
many
stream.
water, man. Too many
Oh, I
water
have-
and
yeah,
Coke.
yeah.
I shouldn't have
Oh.
the bad combination. Anyways,
hurry
you guys
back.
talk. Yes, hurry
Okay.
back.
All right.
We'll be right back.
All right.
All right, goodbyes, man.
Don't forget to flush.
Yeah, that'd be gross.
Yeah.
All right.
No, that's
Fizzin,
that's an interesting experience.
do you have any
man.
question, Fizzin?
Yeah, he does have a question. He says, "Monkey, I have a question for you."
Was that a
Right
while
here.
back? Yeah,
No,
he
just
does
now,
have a
just now.
question. It just now.
It just now popped up.
So
Yeah.
he's tapping away.
We're all waiting on pins and needles.
Dun, 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 dun.
This is gonna be deep. This is gonna be deep. I can tell.
Insert elevator music.
Okay.
Still.
This boy is typing really.
Man, it's typing
Wow.
a
Typing a
paragraph.
novel, man.
He's probably writing a book right
He's
now.
typing a book. He's like, just write it up.
Yeah, still typey.
So Chan said, "I've been doing good, loving this topic so far since I've been having a soul searching."
Well, there you go.
So
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of praying before we did this, and I didn't know. I figured there was somebody out there that needed to hear it, and it's
Okay, Fizzin says, "When I was in high school, I was going to the park with some friends, then came across a priest who approached me, and he said, 'God wants me to invite you to his church.' And I said, 'What about my friends?' And he said, 'Don't worry about them. Forget them.'"
wrong. that is wrong. At least was it a Christian guy or yeah? No, that is absolutely no. You got one of the bad ones.
yeah, that's like
It's not
bad
selective,
vibes
right? I
right
mean,
there.
it's your choice to believe or not, but it's not. God wants everybody to come to Him. He wants everybody to believe, right? And for that guy to be like, oh, because you're the only one looking at me, or whatever the reasoning he had, he absolutely no. He wanted.
when a guy once like
That sounds like a
That's
sus
sus.
priest. That
Sus.
sounds
like
like
I'll say this: anyone, it doesn't matter if you're a priest or like whatever. If they say something like that, like you can tell there's like they have some sort of agenda for
Yeah.
you.
Well, all I know
It's a
for
sketchy-
sure.
It's
Not
a
a
sketchy
good one.
vibe. You're like,
All I
I'm not
know for
about
sure,
this.
100%, that there is someone out there watching over all of us. Like, there was this one time where I was like, I need to pay my bills. Like, I need to pay like $550 for, and I completely broke, like completely. And the next day I had to pay it, or else I would like really bad, right? And then I was like, I believe and have faith that everything will needs to go exactly where it needs to go. If it's bad, then it's bad. If it's good, then it's good. The next morning, I woke up with the exact same amount of money I need to pay, the exact same, to the dot, like completely exact same, and randomly donated by someone randomly that bought my thing. I don't get it. See, that is not. That is somehow. That's just. You just have to believe because when you experience something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Sorry to cut you off, dog, but Drizzle's the worst, man. God can't help Drizzle.
Oh my
Can't
gosh.
Drizzle.
Way to bring it down, King Me. Way to bring it down.
Anyways, continue. Sorry. I thought I interject a little humor in there.
Experience.
Yeah.
Fizzin
We just
a
had our
question.
experience. Fizzin has a question about some priest that says, never mind. Where
Said that
did the priest say?
He said he only wanted to talk
Here we
to
go.
Fizzin, and Fizzin said, "What
And-
about my friends?"
And
the
he
guy was
basically
like,
says, "Fuck
"You
your
did that
friend."
Drake
I mean,
meme or whatever.
excuse
He's
my,
like,
excuse
"Nah,
my
I'm that
language.
No, just like that alone, you can already tell like this guy has some sort of agenda. I'm not into that.
Yeah,
One more question, he says.
One
go
more.
for it. You can have as many as you want.
Shoot him up.
While Fizzin's writing his second novel of the night, and one thing too that I did like. The greatest lie that the devil ever convinced the world of was that he doesn't exist, right? I 100% believe he's out there. And he's the one behind. He's the one behind
Here's the thing.
the pain, all the pain and agony in the world.
Here's the thing. Whether you believe in the devil or not, there are people
He
out there
believes
who
in you.
believes in it. There are people out there who believes in
He
him.
believes in
and-
you. Good. Yes, King.
Yes, but
He
there are
does.
people who believes in him, and there are people who do his bidding.
Bidding. Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if you believe in it or not. There are evil out there.
Right. Well, and the greatest lie he's ever told is that he doesn't exist. Right?
Yes.
He's convinced the world that he doesn't exist. And it's like Christians believe that when we die, we go to heaven, and eventually Jesus is coming back, and there will be a new earth. And basically, I've been reading through this book called Heaven. It's an awesome book. It's the second most important book I think any Christian can read. I'll get right back to that. Pop that up as soon as I'm done, if you don't mind,
Okay.
Cypher.
What up? This.
The question that you just asked, yeah. And the new Earth is basically, so this Earth that we're on is pretty awesome, right?
616. 616.
616, exactly. But picture this world without all the hate, without all the death, without the pain, the suffering, without the disease, without all that. And that's what the new Earth is going to be. It's going to be Earth 2.0, but like just unimaginable beauty. We're going to recognize each other. We're going to know each other. And there's this idea out there that heaven's boring, that all it is you're just an angel with wings that sits on a cloud playing your stupid little harp.
I'm guilty of that. I'm guilty
Hey,
of that.
that can,
I'm very
to
guilty
some
of
people, to some people that's not boring. To some people that's hella fun.
Okay, so and you could probably do that in heaven if you. I picture.
Can you play the ukulele in heaven? I want that.
Probably.
Dude, Mean
I would
would
imagine
do that
so.
I'm
24/7.
sold. I'm sold already. Take me to heaven. I'm done.
And the way I kind of picture heaven is if any of you guys have written or read, sorry, not written, if any of you have read Ready Player One, where he's got the headset on and he can like jump to planet to different planets, which are
Sure.
different like themes or whatever.
Mhm.
I know you guys don't read. Sorry, my bad. But,
Reading's hard.
maybe somebody listening or watching does. But I kind of picture heaven. I picture the new Earth kind of being like that, like whatever you want.
I believe we're going through a transition right now. That's why everything is so crazy. We
Yeah.
are going to a transition to the new Earth.
Well, that's the thing. Like not just I hear that from like a lot of people, like from Christian people. What is the correct term for Christian people? Is it Chris? How do I? Just Christian, right?
Christian.
So I hear that from Christian. I hear that from those exo whatever people like
X.
believe in alien stuff.
Exo?
I forgot what they're called. And I also hear from like
Bloodshot?
Ascension. I also hear from Ascension. Yeah, exopolitic. Yeah.
Exopolitic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exopolitic. And Ascension people, like they all talk about Earth is transitioning to a higher phase, a higher level, and those who can't vibe with that level of positiveness.
Scientifically, our Earth is already changing. Not only its axis is changing, but the vibrational frequency around it is also changing. So it's definitely shifting. It's going somewhere.
So the thing is, like, if you have like negative, negative stuff is more heavier in terms of vibe and.
It's more
yeah.
thick.
So they said once the Earth make that transition, like if you are heavy, you're gonna be somewhere else. You're not gonna be a part of this new Earth because this new Earth don't have time for you. Like they also said that they said in the new Earth, like you can read everybody's thoughts, so there's no bullshit, right? So you cannot live in a world like that if you cannot be bullshit on your mind.
You cannot be a con man.
You can't be a con man.
So everybody would know.
In the new Earth, from the Christian point of view, we're going to be hanging out with God, right? And God is perfect. He's holy. I know the title is Holy Monkey, but we're going to talk about Holy God here for a second. He cannot tolerate being around sin. So
right.
It's the frequency. It just
the frequency. It doesn't vibe.
Can't vibe with it. Can't vibe with it.
Yeah, and the opposite of heaven, we know what that is. It's a very not awesome place.
It kind of looked like that. The opposite of heaven. Kind of looked like that.
You smell skunk.
The mountain in Lord of the Ring. That's what it kind of looked like. Yeah, Mount Doom.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, that's how it's described in the Bible. A very unpleasant.
And that's another thing too. That's another thing I want to bring up to you, Monke. The question. Sorry, did you answer Fizzon's question yet? And go ahead and answer that first.
Let's do Fizzon's question.
I already lost that question. All right.
There you go.
This part, yeah.
Now, when you say he, you used a little h. So, do you mean the priest, or do you mean
the priest?
You'd never seen this guy before, right? I mean, I guess it's possible that he was testing you, but he'd have to be like a jigsaw kind of guy to be testing you like that. Because it's not
like out of the blue too.
Yeah, it's not us as humans. We can't judge people. Okay, hold on. Christians are famous for judging people, but the Bible says we cannot. That is not in our purview. We are not to judge people. We can judge their fruit, which is like their judging their fruit would be like, okay, this guy isn't a murderer, or this person donates to homeless people. Like. You can those are good fruit, bad fruit. That's all that we can tell. Someone can be the biggest jackass in the world and proclaim that they're Christian. I can't tell you if he's going to heaven or not. I can't tell you if he's a real Christian or not. All I can do is be like, it seems a little sketch. He's kind of sus because because all you can see is his life around him is there's not a lot of fruit there.
Not a lot of fruits there.
I ate all my fruit.
Yeah, there you go. Eisen's fruits are good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, if it was a test to see if you were loyal to God or whatever without knowing you, it's not man's place to do that. It's not our place.
Yeah, but what if it's an angel?
God does test us. He does, but he'll never tempt us. So he does give us tests. So I mean,
what's going on here? Hold on.
Wait, Cypher. Cypher was one of the people he said to forget about.
I'm reading it. So basically, Misty said, "How old are you?" Fizzon said, like he's 15, 16, best age for them clown priests. If you get the gist of what that is. Yeah.
We all know what that's saying.
Them clown priests.
Yeah.
Clown. Yeah, the question
if it was a test, I don't think it was a godly test. I'll put it that way. It was a test to see if you'd get in his van that didn't have windows. And that is not a test from God. I promise.
Oh, it's a test. It's a damn
test. It's a test, but it's not from God.
It's a
test. It's a test for his butt. What?
Let's not go.
Okay, that's
wind it back.
That's not holy.
It's jokes, man.
That area is unholy.
All right.
It always goes back. I'm just kidding.
No, my question for you is: do you think we talked about vibration? So like music is also vibration, right? So in
Did you guys
church, there's
see? Did you?
man, this guy
No, go
motherfucker
ahead.
always cut
Go
me
ahead.
off.
Go ahead.
Damn,
Go ahead.
man,
Sorry, man.
chill.
Go ahead.
That ain't good vibes, dog. That's hate.
The hate is real.
I can see
Well,
the
every
dark
time
figures
I
behind
open
it.
my mouth, he's like, no, man, shut up.
No, it's because you were talking about a topic that I was gonna inject
Yeah, that's my
in, but then-
question. Bring
yeah,
in your
but-
topic
but-
after my question,
by
you
the time
jackass.
by the time you finish it, it would be irrelevant. See what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So,
What's
anyway,
no,
just go
funny
ahead.
is like Cypher never talks unless King Mean starts. to talk.
Exactly. What the hell?
Then
So-
he chives on it. Anyways,
So
okay, go.
vibration, music is vibration, and they play music in church. Like like what do you call that? Like when you walk into church, they play the piano or whatever
Piano.
that thingamajig.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, is that, you think that's a part of it? Like, why that exists to begin with? Like, the whole music thing in a church? Like, just to get your spirit into the mood, into your vibration, your soul, your spirit, or whatever? You think
I
that's a
don't-
possibility? Or is that just a
It could
gimmicky
be-
thing?
Well, worship is an expression of love to God, right?
Mhm.
So, I don't know if it has much to do with the vibration. I mean, there's a
Frequency, yeah.
It's
the
a frequency.
frequency stuff.
Scientific. Sorry.
No, go ahead. That was my question. It's all you now.
if
You two
I
can
think
chat.
it's a scientific thing. I don't necessarily think that worship is scientific. I mean, because the book of Psalms in the Old Testament was written by a guy named
No,
David.
yeah, I
Those
get
were
that.
all
I was saying about the frequency thing.
go ahead with that.
Anyways, I was saying that scientifically, there's certain sound frequency can change a person's like
Emotion.
Attitude.
emotions or attitude.
Yes.
Like it can trigger certain emotions or attitude, and they're also you know how when they have sounds and on the sand putting on and then the sand turns into like shapes, like geometric shape based on the sound.
It does
There
change
is-
the shape, the form of.
Yeah, sound is like a very cool magical thing. Like
Sound or
can be very
sound
powerful.
can
It can-
manipulate matter.
yeah,
That makes
it can
sense.
even change the shape
Rearrange
of
atoms.
water molecules and stuff
Molecules, yeah.
based on sound. So what you listen can affect what's in here.
Oh yeah, if you
It
if
can
you
affect
go around,
your brain, your thinking, and all that
right.
stuff too.
If you go around listening to exclusively like let's say death metal is all you ever listen to, you're probably kind of a grouchy person.
Yeah.
But if you go around listening to happy music, I mean that's like scientific fact.
Mm.
But yeah, and I also think it's pretty interesting that people are like, well, you can believe in science, but you can't believe in God if you believe in science. And it's like there's scientific evidence that God exists, that there's an intelligent design to everything.
Noah's Ark, I know that shit exists. Don't give me that
Oh, yeah.
bullshit. Don't give me that bullshit. They've been trying to spin it lately. They're like, Noah's Ark is not like that, not physical animal. It's more of DNA splicing, putting a bunch of stuff with DNA.
No, that's the new
man.
that's the new explanation by the
I get it, but
scientific
I believe-
religious people. Like
I believe in
science,
the old way.
science.
I want to see that big ass ship with tons of animal. That is epic
Now-
scale.
now
That
I
is
just-
godly scale. That's
I just
what I'm
remember.
saying.
I just remember, like, I remember having this discussion like way back before, like during, like right after the first podcast that we had recently.
Yeah.
All like everything that we see here, everything like us, all living things, like everything, all matter, everything exists for a reason, right? What's the source of that? And we all know the answer to that.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
It would be God.
And why are we here? Experience, lesson learned.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what else.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
This is just fine.
What?
That's a football thing. No, but no, I'm
Do you got another question?
who?
Fizzin.
Oh,
Which one?
Well, no, you just said he has another question, so he's typing it right now.
Oh,
okay.
okay.
But yeah,
Go ahead and pull Chan's question too. I want to read. I want Monkey to answer her question.
What time?
Let's
The
see.
latest one?
Yeah, like 11:22. She has two of them, I think. There.
You're slowly getting back. What helped you through that, other than just praying and opening up to God? what helped me get back into it. I definitely, while I was in the hospital, I was I was pretty convinced I was going to die. And I was not sure of where I was going to go when I did. And that really shook me because, like I said, I've been a Christian.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Eisen.
It was like, it seemed like you were like at that final stage where like, it's like, I have like, there's nothing,
He has a character arc.
Right.
Character development is like, it's like, all I can do right now is pray because there's nothing else I can do.
This is that part in an anime where there's that part in anime where he goes away for a while and then come back as a badass motherfucker.
It's the midlife crisis. Wait, why do I keep saying midlife crisis?
Well, I mean, you could look at it like that.
It's the midpoint.
He came back with a new power up. He got powered up. He got buffed up.
Like, it's like
leveled up.
All right,
a person can't be good unless a person goes down. So, like,
okay,
I think
question.
Yeah, go ahead. There you go.
Is it possible that God took away my voice so I don't have to work?
No, God took your voice away because you talked
I
about
100% believe in the saying that when God closes a door, he opens a window. So I 100% believe that that's true.
Or here's the thing. Or it's not God that take away his voice. It's the devil because he claimed to be the devil. And the devil's like, fuck this guy.
He's like, clown.
But if it was God, I mean, there's a story in the Bible about a guy named Job that was like the most religious, or not even religious. He was just the most devoted to God man at the time. And Satan went up to God and he was like, let me test this guy. Let me, take away his wealth. Let me kill off his family. Let me kill off his livestock. Let me make him lower than the low. And he'll curse you. He'll tell you that, he'll turn his back on you right away. And God said, okay, go ahead. And Satan did all those things. He killed all of his family. He got these horrible boils. He was like scraping with a piece of pottery. He basically
that's pretty gruesome.
Yeah, it was very, very bad. And through all that, he never his wife was in his ear saying, turn your back on God. He obviously doesn't exist. Like, he doesn't love you. He doesn't care about you.
Yeah, I remember that story. Yeah.
And Job wouldn't do it. And he won. And God rewarded him after he went through that hardship with like 10 times what he had before. So I definitely think that God does give us tests. And Fizzin, this could be a test for you to, instead of, maybe he's telling you in a way direct to work on your writing more than a voice-based thing or something, it could be a sign. I definitely think that could be true. And it could just be horrible luck as well. I mean,
it's something. It's something.
Yeah.
You just have to. It's something you have to figure out yourself.
Sorry, Chan, I don't have the chat pulled up. Did I answer your question? I basically
is it this one?
one? Yeah. So I just want to read it again.
So.
Now that you're slowly getting back into creation, what helped you through other than just praying? Well, and honestly too, it's
Thanks, Misty.
It was my
thanks, Misty. Woo!
Thanks, Misty.
Woo!
Thank you, Misty.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Take that to the $1.25 store.
Heck yeah! Woo!
$1.25 store. There's no more Dollar Tree. It's
inflation, dog.
inflation.
They add that 25 cents into it.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, it was kind of the reality of waking up to the fact that I had been pretty confident that I was a Christian, and but I couldn't answer the question, if I died tomorrow, where would I go? I couldn't answer that question honestly, and it just, that was the springboard into being like, I got to get this right. And the rest as it now stands is history. I've always been kind of a quiet Christian. I've never really professed my faith all that much. Now, if somebody wants to talk to me about it, I'm more than happy to. But I actually wrote this big old long thing on Facebook about I got a
why you wear your cross, yeah.
And it was basically saying why I'm wearing it. And I wear it outside of my shirt. I don't wear it tucked into my shirt. Because I'm not ashamed of being a Christian, even though the climate is not favorable towards Christians.
It's hard right now.
Hold on.
If you're
You're married, right?
About it, that's
I am married, yes.
What color are you? Let's check. Let's do all the bubble check.
We're not having a political.
This man's pulling up a race car and doing
No, we're not doing that. We're
check
not doing that.
boxes.
Go ahead.
But you know, and
Check all the boxes.
You check all the boxes.
I
Straight,
check.
correct.
Straight,
Married, correct.
employed,
White, correct.
white. This one's the problem. Anyways,
Got to go. I can't vibe with this man.
no, but you know, and there were other things too. That getting back into, you know, not being able to answer that question was a big thing. But we have this saying in our house that started with all this, and it was, "I'm not done with the you guys." And what what that means is like my story. I'm not ready to be done. I wasn't. I think when it is my time, I know where I'm going to go, and and it's going to be a peaceful transition. I'm not going to freak out because I know where I'm going, and I know it's better than what we've got going on here. But
damn straight.
You know, it was my wife helped me get through it. You guys, all of the Asia Core community, you guys helped me get through it because, you know, I wasn't done making videos with you guys, whether you like it or not. Like you're stuck with me. You know, and I wasn't ready to go. And I wanted to know that when it was my time that I knew where I was going to go. Yeah. And that really helped drive getting back into church and getting my life right. So hope that answers your question.
I got to clap for that. And that's a valid point too. Like not a lot of people know, like the video we put out have impact for viewers. You never know who's watching this video at the time. Like maybe our stupid jokes or whatever, our entertainment could make a person's life better. And a lot of people don't know too. The comment section, like when you guys are talking to us here too, like it matters. Like you guys not know or care, but like Monke was saying, like the support that you guys give him, you know, he used that for his. To bring him back to down to earth, more centered, to be a better person. So it does help. Like you guys think that like maybe you guys are just typing this and that, but and we're not reading. We read, we see it, but it's both way, right? It's that impact, we present ourselves to you for entertainment purpose, and in return you show us the love that and the support that you give us. Like, I mean, for example, Misty just gave us $1.99. That's $1.99 more than we started. So that is all positive.
You know, like put this in perspective. Like, let's say like someone's having a really rough time, right? Like their day is just complete shit, and then there's us just making like entertaining content, right? We're just uploading random videos on YouTube. Those videos can mean like it can make your day because of like you know, our jokes or whatever we're doing. It's at the end of the day we're making like entertaining content.
Yeah,
it can make your day.
We're trying to,
and that's what matters, right?
Yes, we're trying to.
And I really,
you know, most of the time we don't take ourselves too seriously. You know, we're always joking around, having a good time. This is definitely more of a serious topic.
Yeah. That's why I can't go overboard too much. I'm trying to stay in midpoint, not tipping the scale.
You know how hard it is for him to do that? There I go. I talk again over him.
Every time.
That habit.
No, I think it's. I think it's important. I think.
My bad. That time is me.
I'm just saying, like your story. I wanted to hear your story, like from point A to point B to Z or whatever the saga is right now. I wanted to hear that story, but I don't want to just hear it for myself. I want like the community to hear it because, again, it can impact people. Like you know, people who was. Going through the same thing you are, you know, they might not have a voice. They might not know what to do. And hearing your guidance, hearing your story, maybe they can put that in perspective and be like, okay, if this guy can do it, I can do it also. I just have to hang in there and see what the future have for me. So this whole thing is a great positive vibe, and I'm loving it. So you keep going.
Well, and I want to address the second half of the title of the podcast of the perfect husband. First of all, I am not the perfect husband. You know, there's only one perfect person in this world, and that was Jesus. But I think why you guys have the illusion that I'm a perfect husband is that what I've tried to do is really model myself after what the Bible says a Christian husband is supposed to be. And listen to my wife, listen to her needs, try to do everything I can to fulfill those and everything. And I get, apparently that gets me the perfect husband label.
Husband spot.
Which,
Yeah.
That was not given to me. It's kind of like She-Hulk. I did not pick that name. It was assigned to me by the public. So,
no, man, you just check all the boxes, so we assume that you're perfect.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie, man. Like, I am like what you have going on right now. It's fantastic. You have a great wife. You have a home. You have a dog, right? You have a dog. You have a cat.
Yeah, he has a dog.
I have a great job.
Yeah, great job. It's all going good for you. That's awesome.
And I definitely have seen a shift since January, since I've like recommitted my life.
There you go.
Because I was in a job that was like, okay, but it wasn't fulfilling, and it wasn't. I mean, I've been at this new job. Today was exactly 1 month. I got a $2 an hour raise this week.
Woo! Oh yeah.
I mean, it's
Congrats.
like, it's just, and I was actually vying for a different job, but I never heard from that one. I only heard from this one. And I definitely feel, again, was a sign from God. Like,
yeah, no, for
even though I really wanted to be at the other job, I thought the prospects at the other job were better. They never called me, and this one came chasing after me, and I was like, okay, this must be where you want me to be for whatever reason.
Yeah,
maybe that's the right choice. Because when you think about, like, I know I've heard other people experience, like, oh, there's a perfect, like, this other job that sounds perfect. It has like all these nice,
the perks and all that.
Perks, whatever features they have. When you actually go in there, it's all empty promises, it's all BS, right? Maybe it's God is just preventing you to deal with that, drama, that bad juju, whatever it is.
Oh,
so
juju.
Juju.
So he took you in here because for a fact, like, this will benefit you more than whatever BS they're trying to tell you here.
Well, and you guys were hitting the nail on the head earlier when you were saying how, where I'm at now, it was a long, windy road, and my road's not over. I mean, I don't know what's coming up. I'm going to be tested. There's going to be challenges to my faith and everything.
Tribulation.
And I'll be galvanized, and I'll come out of it stronger on the other side. But, it's definitely a long, winding road. It is not just a straight, bloop, shot to the end. So that's definitely true. Just because you go through hard times doesn't mean God doesn't care.
Facts.
And
yeah. So what was Pheasant saying on 11:33? Sorry, I wanted to read that.
God's got my back. Cypher knows. That one time I lost this kid's shirt, is Cypher the kid or a different kid?
Different kid. So here's the thing about Fizzin.
He bought me toys.
Let me tell you something about Fizzin. He has this weird. So Fizzin has this weird ability where no matter who he pissed off, they always come back to him. No, I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm serious.
I don't get that either. I don't get that.
So he has this ability where he can be a complete jackass to somebody, no matter how hard he pissed them off. They always come back to him. Like, I don't get it. I don't get that. Like this kid, Fizzin took his shirt, threw it away, lost it somewhere. The next day, he gave him something. Fizzin took someone else.
That's a bully.
Like, pissed off other people. The next day, that person supported him. I don't understand that.
He's the devil. That's all there is to it.
No,
You also
I don't know how that's God having your back, but
Okay, so here's a true story. Once upon a time, a girl got cheated by her husband, so she jumped off the roof and ended her life. Then landed on her husband. He rest in peace. She lived. Yeah, that is a true story. I heard about that one.
Would you say that was some of God's work? That she lived. I mean, God's got a plan for everybody, and I don't know.
I do believe that. Sorry, Monke.
It's like we don't know his playbook, right? It's like,
we don't know his playbook, but
but I do believe that if it's not your time yet, no matter what you try to do, it's just not your time yet.
Right. Yeah. That's a final destination moment right there. So all her friends and family are gonna or everyone that was supposed to die as a result of that are gonna have a bad end. But
Or we're gonna be like straight up just bad timing. It's like,
Yeah.
who knows?
Yeah.
We don't know.
yeah,
It's hard to. That question alone is like.
There's a lot of weird
You can't
stuff
say
that
yes or
like
no. It's
that
really hard to
happens
do it.
though to a lot of people. It's
Well,
just
and
it's
I
just
truly think-
unexplained.
I know.
I
Sometimes
truly
it's like,
think
well,
that
shit
it's-
happens. Shit happens.
yeah. I truly think it's God just
Wow.
being like, it wasn't your time yet.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, because I
I
mean,
wanna-
there's people that try to commit suicide all
And they
the
live.
time, and they
Some
live.
people
and
live.
Nobody
Like
knows
there's
why.
there's a person that shot himself in the face with a shotgun. How do you
Yeah, he
live
lived.
after that? Yeah, he lived. He got. I mean, his face all disfigured and shit, but
Messed up, but like,
he lived.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. And, you
And
know,
not only he lived that experience. Sorry, Monke.
Jackass!
so
I swear
funny.
to God! I swear to
so
God!
funny.
every time, man.
No respect.
He's like, no,
This guy.
I'm
But
the
the
host
clock,
too.
the clock was thinking. Okay, the clock was thinking.
Type it
all
down
about-
like prison. Type it down.
Oh,
Okay,
man.
what was I saying again?
I
I don't know.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
stupid.
Short-term memory. Short-term memory.
Oh, I was saying that after the experience where that the person went through after they killed himself and then they still live, they actually it changed their life to a better something that's better. Kind of like how your life is changing after a near-death experience or whatever.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it's unfortunate for the other guy though, but you know.
Yeah. Definitely.
Fizzin said, "Monkey, it's your skin color."
What about it?
Check the playbook. Check the playbook.
Check the playbook.
No, I think it's cool. I think put the message out there. Like, if anybody's going through hardship or whatever, I don't know what you can do, but if you want, you can just
hold
comment
on.
in any of our video.
Yeah, what I was gonna say, kind of leading up to that. Oh, Cypher, you were gonna talk, weren't you?
I was, yeah. You can go ahead. You can go ahead.
If you guys want to communicate directly with me, this is for anybody that's watching this, anyone that's live right now. Just drop a comment, and I'll reach out to you through email or something like that. And yeah, let's talk. I would love to talk about it. Like I said,
Oh, man.
I don't wear
Yeah,
this
with an
outside
email.
of my shirt for no reason. You know, it's
I'm gonna slide in Monkey's DMs. I was like, hey,
Go.
bro.
I'm gonna send him
Why
some
you got-
pictures,
why
to
do you-
be honest.
Some
oh my gosh. I mean,
good vibes. Those are good
Hell
vibes.
yeah.
yeah.
So here's what Fizzin was.
Yeah,
I was
represent,
just trying to show. I have problem changing. I was born perfect. so this is
That's
why
pride, man.
this is why his voice
That's the
is gone.
that's the ego
That's
speaking.
one-
That's the ego
that's-
speaking.
that's the-
That's one of
ego.
the sins, man.
No, I'm not gonna lie. The other day, like the other night, I had a nightmare, man. It's like no matter where I go, people said I stink as hell. Like this is true. I told the guys this too. Like
That's-
it freaked me out. Like no matter where I go in store, people say I stink. At work, people said I stink. During a date, the girl next to me said I stink. The girl that I was dating with. I woke up. I was like, do I really stink that bad? And then like, I took a shower, man. So I think God was trying to show me like the way. He was like, you gotta do something about that. You gotta do something about
You
that.
gotta do
I don't
something
know.
about
I
that
think
stench,
that,
dog.
that might have been your own psyche being like, dude, take a shower. I don't know if that was God.
No, this man is just smelling himself in his dream.
It's his subconscious. Keep telling me.
I was like, this gotta be a
You know-
message. I
no,
gotta do something about
You know,
this.
sometimes like in your dream, when you're dreaming, sometimes you still have those senses around. Like if you're listening to
Yeah.
music, you still hear that music in
I
your
hate the-
dream.
I just hate
Or
the
like
thought
if
of
you hear
like,
like static from a TV, you hear that static from your dream.
yeah. I just hate the thought of going out with a pretty woman and like she just tells you straight
For a
off you
king-
stink. No,
Yeah.
that's not acceptable. You can't
Well,
do
For a
that.
king man,
Back-
he smells his own shit.
Back,
In his dream, he smells shit.
It sucks.
back
man.
in the days where we met live in person, not on this situation.
This thing, yeah.
You know, and I worked with you for a long time in a warehouse. Change your name to Ego.
Oh, that's Star Lord's
You know,
dad, bro.
I can confirm exactly, and it's a planet. I can confirm you don't stink.
Yes.
And I worked with you in a warehouse for 12 hours straight, bro. I would
Hell
know if you
yeah.
stink.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's a
Maybe
big,
that's because
a
we
big
got that
compliment.
swag going on in the warehouse. We were the swag brother.
Oh
The
yeah,
swag building.
dude. You remember speaking about like seeing things? You remember the
Yeah.
unexplained handprints, like 20 feet up the
Ooh.
wall? You want to talk about creepy
You are-
stuff? He and I worked in this. It wasn't an abandoned warehouse because clearly
No,
we
it
were
was-
working. But it was just him and I, and it was kind of weird and creepy.
It was
but,
creepy.
like the lights didn't work. It was just weird.
It's
But,
dark. Like the back is
yeah, it was
super dark.
And one day I don't remember exactly what we were doing, but we just looked up and like 20 feet up on the ceiling or on the wall, just these handprints appeared up on the wall, and it was like, what is happening? You know, and it was probably a guy that had like been working in the building, and he was up on a forklift or something, and he touched the wall and his hands were greasy or something. So maybe that was the answer, but it was oh man, I don't know.
You know it's bad when truck drivers will not use the bathroom facility. Truck drivers love bathroom facility. For them to use it one time and never again.
Never do it again.
And I even asked the dude, like, I said, why don't you ever come into the building anymore? He's like, nah. And then he told me flat out, like, he saw something in the bathroom through the mirror when he was washing his hand. And he said, never, I'm going to go there again. We have a military guy. Remember the dude with the K? I won't say his name, but we have a military dude. He was afraid of that building, and he's a military guy. So it's... Again, it makes you think about the whole supernatural element of it, and ties back to our whole situation here with our topic. It's there's things out there that you can't control, and there's things out there that you can't see. But like faith, it's out there. You just have to. Sometimes, even though you don't want to believe in it, it's always there. And certain situation, it can pull that in without you knowing about it. Faith is a strong thing.
Well, and it's the world is a hard place to be in right now because, you know, we're kind of talking earlier about how people say that if God exists, where there's so many bad things that happen in this world, right? Well, the world has been given over to Satan. Like, he's the one.
This is his domain. Yeah,
this is his domain.
Yeah, this is his domain.
When bad things happen, does God want them to happen? No, but this is kind of what we as the human race, we've kind of tried to delete God from everything, right? So we're kind of getting what we asked for. And we're dealing with the consequences. The world that we live in is a world without God for the most part. And look at what's happening around you. You know, like we deal with Tent City, we deal with crime being out of control all across the world. You know, there's wars, there's people dying of starvation.
When you think about
it's like,
when you think about when you go to
gasoline costs more than my hourly wage, so that's that.
Oh yeah. So when you go like social media, there's always like bad vibes over there. So whenever you go on Twitter or like Facebook or whatever, or like reading news articles, it's usually just like negative stuff, right?
Yeah. Confession.
What's the confession?
You just pulled the cipher.
No, go ahead, Eisen. You finish.
Let the man finish. Let the man finish.
No, I'm just saying, like the news, like just the whole world itself focuses on negative energy, and that's something like.
That's because negative energy makes money in this world. Because like
Monke
said, if it is a world that's run by the devil, then it would make sense that negative energy would make money. You benefit off
negative
of the
energy like
you put
profit
out
for like the devil,
right?
But it also the negative energy feeds the devils. It feeds the darkness.
So when you think about it like that way, it makes total sense, right? So it would make sense that this is his domain.
Yeah. And I was about to say, like, I'm happy, man. Like, I quit social media. Like, I don't have anything anymore. Like, nothing beside whatever's here on YouTube.
Yeah.
I feel great. Like,
social media, like,
nothing
really
distract me. I get more stuff done in my daily work. Like, work in general, not my daily stuff, because all I do is just sleep and do nothing. But, totally positive vibe. Like, I have no negative whatsoever. Like, I'm all Gucci now. Old people shouldn't use that word. Anyways, I'm all good. It's great, and don't be afraid. Like, if you're young, don't be afraid to disconnect from people. Sometimes you need that. Yeah, sometimes you need that time for yourself.
Social media actually
for
makes
your own
you
spiritual.
Worse.
Yeah. Social media makes everyone more insulary. Makes them all Instead of human beings are meant to congregate. They're meant to be together. They're meant to socialize. And when you're just doing it behind a screen, it's just not the same. You know?
Well, and not only that, like from what I experience and from what I hear from other people, it makes it so that you have no sense of yourself anymore. It's all about, okay, this person
mimicking
is doing
someone
this on,
else.
Yeah, this person is doing this on this platform, got tons of hit. I'm going to be that person. And then and then when you become famous, you let other control you and judge you for who you are. And then you go into a state of depression. And then you're like, if you step back and think about it, those people don't know you. Like,
remove all that.
They're there. Mm-hmm. They don't know you. You should know yourself better than anybody else. Be back. Go back to that. Go back to your source. Go back to who you are. And I bet you'll have a super happy life, because you know what? Screw everybody else when it comes down to it. It's all about you. It's not a selfish thing either. It's about who you are, and you know who you are. Be that person. Don't be the person that the environment wants you to be, because that's never a good thing.
All right. See you later, AF Iron. Thank you for hanging out with us.
Thank you. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
I don't know.
It's all about.
I call everybody man, so don't mind me.
Take care of yourself, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
social media is damaging to a lot of young people.
Oh,
like,
for sure.
It affects the young people more than it affects the old people. But the young people, it's really damaging to them.
Social media and like I see all these negative things, it's like it doesn't.
It's like I think the world would be just slightly better. As horrible as the world is right now, it would be slightly better without social media.
Mm-hmm. That being said, I understand that we're on a social
more
media platform, but you know, this is a little bit different than hiding behind a Twitter account that's anonymous and saying.
Yeah, you can totally see our face.
Yeah,
like
Triangle's face, but
Triangle's face.
See, we're trying to do something here.
We're trying to do something here. Yeah, so I hope you guys know I was really being honest. I know sometimes people just say stuff, but I really do mean if you want to talk more about this after this is over, please reach out, leave a comment and I'll reach out and we'll find a way to contact each other and keep talking about this, because this is very important to me. Part of being a Christian, I'm not a Bible thumper. I will not
quote like.
Oh no, chapter. I will quote and everything, but I'm not going to go around and beat you over the head with it. You know,
right.
I encourage the conversations. I want to have the conversations, but I'm not going to go around going, if you don't believe, you're going to hell. And
it's like,
you know, like I'm
that ain't it.
For like what I've learned, or like for what I think religion is, like, it's something that you should have faith in and believe for yourself. Be truthful for yourself, right? Not something you should enforce for other people to believe in.
Everybody has their own. Everybody has their own journey. So let them go through their own journey.
When you use religion,
a beat to their own drums.
Other people.
I don't know why I did that.
Then you're.
But it's a beat to their own drums,
right?
Yeah.
You'll be using religion the wrong way,
right? And I prefer, you know, like I said, I'm not shy about it. I'm not embarrassed of it, but you know, I've been around Christians that, like, someone says something and they go, "Oh, praise God!" The Mandela effect is real for sure. 100% believe that. What is that beeping? You guys all right over there?
That's me.
All right.
I'm just changing my fan.
Gotcha. Forgot what I was saying now. Interrupted by the fans.
My bad.
Sorry.
Not our fans.
Not our fans. No, his fans.
It's my fan.
His only fan. But anyways,
you slide right in.
I just know that you know, I know the rest of the other guys are too, but I'm definitely being genuine with that. If you want to keep talking about it, I definitely encourage the conversation. I don't judge. I am not Christians get a bad rap for being very judgmental and very, you know, if you don't fit into my little cookie cutter version of what you should be, you're not good enough. I'm not that guy. You know, I don't.
You're not that guy.
I'm not that guy. I believe that you win people over with love, not with forcing them to.
Facts.
You know, forcing them to do something. So, and at the end of the day, if you don't want to believe and you want to walk away and not believe, I'm still going to be your friend. I mean, it's not going to change. You know, look, it's not going to change that.
We're all. I mean, the four of us, maybe not you, but the four of us is kind of fucked up, according to some people. But see, we're still together. We're still here.
We're still here. Yeah. I believe I was included in that, but maybe.
Oh yeah.
It's a tough time, and tough time
something whites.
you need that. You need perspective on life, and sometimes if you need to talk, Monke is here for you, and reach out to him for sure. If you need to reach out to any of us too, just comment below, and it's all good, man. Like, that's what we're here for. Spread the vibes, spread the positivity, spread.
Right. Well, and,
you can't be closed up by yourself, and that can drive a person nuts if they have nothing to talk about or no one to talk to.
Yeah.
And
because if they have something that's eating them inside,
eating them
like
up,
they have something they gotta let up, but they just know how to talk to. Yeah, that eventually is gonna go crazy.
And of course, you always have God to talk to. That prayer is an awesome thing, and God answers prayer. Just remember that, like we said earlier, no is sometimes an answer, and so is wait. We don't always get what we want right away, but
just know that He knows what He's doing.
He knows what He's doing. Yeah, trust the process. But there's a lot of negativity there, and a lot of it is a lot of Christians we've shot ourselves in the foot with a lot of the stuff that we do, and all I can do is apologize and say I'm sorry, and I can't apologize for all Christians that have wronged anyone in any way. I know I have, and I've apologized. Part of my post on Facebook about why I wear the cross, there was a section about, I'm sure I've offended people and I've hurt people and I don't even know it, and all I can do is apologize, say I'm sorry, and try to get better. You guys got rid of a lot of.
It helped you with your Macy's card situation.
Yeah, it did. I just gotta
use that money for bills instead.
Yeah,
because God,
it's
God's plan.
It's rough, man.
This guy got to pay bills. This guy got to pay bills.
Nah, I think this is awesome. I think we need we need this. Like, it's cool to joke around once in a while, but like to bring it back to Earth and like just let people know where you're coming from, your perspective on life. I'm the guy who always want to listen to people's perspective of life, and it always intrigued me. Like, people's story is interesting than. Like, I watch a lot of movies, but people's story is very interesting to me because it's like you never know what everybody's going through, and until you hear their story and you're like, oh, okay, now it makes sense why this guy is the way he is, or that person is the way they are. So people needs to be. I'm not telling people needs to be open-minded about everything. I'm telling people needs to appreciate people and understand that.
Be a little bit more considerate.
Exactly.
They're like,
we used to say, be RPG, don't be an asshole.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and to answer Fizzan's question that you popped up there, so when is the world going to end? The Bible says no man will know. So no man will know the day or the hour.
But the tinfoil hat says no. The tinfoil hat says 2000. No, well, that was true.
2025
or 2030. That's when.
So those are the new 2012s.
Yes, those are the new stuff coming up from the tinfoil hats.
That is another thing too. Like, I wanted to kind of touch on like the fear there. When I say I'm not a Bible thumper, like I remember I was already a Christian when I was younger, and I remember watching. There's something that some Christians, not all, believe in. That's called the rapture, which
I love that. Cool story.
When Jesus comes back, the world's going to get really bad for people. Like, it's already bad, right? But imagine it like infinite times worse. But I believe, and there's a large portion of Christians that do believe in something called the rapture, which is when Jesus comes back, we're all basically whisked away and taken up to heaven. And because we as believers are not meant to experience the non-belief,
the suffering, the aftermath,
right, right. And anyways, that shoot, I forgot my point. So reverse Thanos. Kind of. I mean, we're getting snapped. I guess you could say we're getting snapped away, and we
Transition.
won't come back until the new world, the new
Yeah.
Earth is
Mhm.
established. Then we come back.
Yeah.
So I guess, yeah, kind of Thanos. But I just want to see as many of you guys as possible up there with me when that happens. So, but as far as there's just a lot of bad out there. When you got to be careful with what and who you decide to believe in, and just remember, don't believe in any human. You need to believe in God, because God won't lead you wrong. Humans will lead you wrong every time, whether they mean to or not. So.
Well, I mean, as humans, we always make mistakes. There's
Flaws. It's within us. We have flaws.
As you said, there's no like. You're not a perfect husband also means that none of us here is perfect, right?
I just want to put this in because every year there's a new Notre Dame prediction. Like this fool is dead like 100,000 years ago.
I remember what I was going to say. When I was younger, my parents had me watch this movie, and it had to do with the rapture, and it scared the crap out of me. I was a Christian. I knew I was a Christian. I knew I was going to heaven, but it scared the ever-living crap out of me. And I'm not that guy to like try to use fear tactics to get you to believe, because if you use fear tactics to convert people, it's not real. You're only doing it because you just don't want to go to hell.
It goes back to like enforcing it.
Yeah, it's not. It's got to be a true change of heart. You will change as a person. I'm living proof of it. I mean,
I believe that.
I'm a pretty funny, kind of easygoing guy, but I have definitely changed since January. 100% have changed. I've changed in how I talk. I've changed in just kind of how I carry myself. I still screw up now and then, mostly you guys, with you guys. But
hey, respect, man. We're dope.
But so.
Hey, Misty, welcome back.
So, but I hate to say this, but it's like midnight, and I need to work.
Yeah, no, you need to go.
Sure.
I think this is awesome. I think we hear your story, we hear where you're coming from and where you're going, which is great. So keep the positive vibe, keep the message, and we should do more of these later when we're not actually working.
I do enjoy listening to other people's different like life experiences, because when you think about it, like pretend that you're in their shoes, like what would you do at that moment? Because like that's whatever similar situation that person's dealing with, that could happen to you. You don't know that. You can't predict how your life is gonna go on about. So like having that, learning about that person's experience gives you that idea of like, okay, this is, if something happens like that to me, at least I'm aware of it, kind of.
Right. All right, let's leave that for another podcast. I think that's very interesting. So let's do another podcast based off of that, of just understanding each other.
Yeah.
I think that's a cool. I think that's a cool podcast that from this segment that can lead to that segment. Yeah. It'll still be connected, so it's good. Thanks, Monke, for sharing your story. Thank you, everybody, for watching and chatting. That was cool. Thank you for Misty for the donation, and I think we should just wrap it up. Yeah.
We're at this
I'll let you close, Monke. It's your topic, so you can go ahead and close. Say your last word. Say you're not last word, but your
I know
last thoughts.
I know what you mean.
Last thoughts.
That's kind of dark, bro. That's
yeah.
If I don't wake up tomorrow, I'm coming out.
Damn.
Damn, you're haunted now.
Damn.
I just, like I said,
You've been cursed.
I just one last time. God never fails. He loves you. He's got a plan for you. He wants you to love him and vice versa, and be in his life, or you being him be a big part of your life. Reach out to me with any questions. I'd love to talk more about it. And even if it's not from a positive place, I'd love to have a discussion. I'm unabashedly a Christian, and I'm not scared to talk about it, even if you're polar opposite on your point of view. So feel free to reach out.
This is also a learning experience too, so it's good to know.
But yeah, thanks to Cypher, Fizz, and King Mean and Eisen for letting me talk and tell my story. Really appreciate you guys. Ooh. Thank you to the people in the live chat for hanging out with us and talking with us as well.
We love you.
Leave comments.
Buck 99.
Leave
Thank you,
comments
Misty.
down below. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much for staying tuned in with us. See you later.
Whoa, we got another buck 99 sneak in.
Woo! Sweet dreams, y'all.
Good
All
way
right,
to
later.
end it.
Dreams. Have a good night and sweet dreams. All right.
Goodbye.
Peace. Bye.